Oh, come on. How could I not do the big bad dragon in this set? This is Nico Bolas. Yeah, Nico was a creature. He's still an ugly as fuck dragon. He is 8 fucking mana. 2 blue, 2 red, and 2 black. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 7/7, which is probably where the 7 thing came on his planeswalker card. If you have to pick between the Nico Bolas card and the Nico Bolas planeswalker card, go with the planeswalker. You're gonna see why in a minute. He has flying, which makes sense. He's a dragon. Every dragon I've ever seen has flying. If the dragon didn't have flying, they usually weren't pictured with wings. An opponent damaged by Nico Bolas has to discard their entire hand. Of course, ignore this effect if the opponent has no cards. This is one of those old cards where they actually had to state shit like that, where people didn't quite know you ignore it if there's no cards. I don't know why they couldn't figure that out on their own, but, you know, this was when Magic first came out. But here's the downside. You have to pay a blue, a black, and a red during your upkeep, or Nico Bolas is buried. That was their way of saying, sacrifice Nico Bolas. Interesting wording, but again, this is an example of an interesting old card. So, there you go. But yes, Nico Bolas. Nasty little card. But that sacrifice thing kind of makes me not want to play it, especially as a commander. Expenses, because remember the rule with commander. You got to add 2 more to his mana cost, which means he'd end up becoming 10 mana. That's a bit of mana from the first sacrifice if you fail to pay those 3 colors. Obviously, you're going to have those 3 colors if you're playing Nico, because otherwise you can't play him anyway. You're going to have 2 of each, which means you're guaranteed to have at least 1 of each. But it's tapping pieces of your mana you could be using for other spells. And do you really want to be sacrificing your commander? There are other cards that have those colors that are a bit better, and you will see them as we go along, that are cheaper, and you don't have to sack every turn or pay mana every turn to keep so it doesn't get zacked. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend Nico as a good commander. He's a powerful card, don't get me wrong. As a commander, he's more of an annoy your opponent for a turn or 2. The fact he doesn't have haste is a bit of a pain in the ass. Catch you later.